Hey yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Scatino, aka Scat, and welcome to my video review of Mortal Kombat. First of all, I want to thank Dark Star Dude 8000 for using this picture-in-picture technique before me. You know, thanks a lot man. I've been working on my video review for a while and now you're going to use this technique before me, so people think I'm going to steal your shit. But, you know I don't get down like that, so anyway, I'm using it too. What can you do? Right, so anyway, back to Mortal Kombat. So like I said, this is my video review. And so Mortal Kombat was released about 2 weeks ago now on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It's a reboot of the series. Ed Boon and the guys over at NetherRealm Studios have wanted to take the series back to its roots basically. Over the past decade, it's moved into a 3D fighter, sort of like Tekken or Virtua Fighter, whereas back in the beginning, back in the early 90s, when it, it was part of the arcade scene, it was, a 2D fighter, like Street Fighter. So they've brought it back, and in terms of the story, it's kind of like a reimagining of the very first 3 Mortal Kombat games. So what I mean by that is, right at the beginning, we see Raiden being defeated by Shao Kahn, and how he's now defeated Earthrealm and he's taken over and whatnot. So Raiden then actually goes back in time to the first Mortal Kombat tournament, where he's trying to manipulate the events so that doesn't happen, and he's trying to get the right warrior at the right time to, he wants to get the right warrior, to actually get to battle Shao Kahn, and he's got to be the one to defeat him to stop him taking over. So, the game takes you through the events of Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, so you'll see all the classic characters that you've come accustomed to over the years. Now, one of the things that might, kind of upset a few people is the fact that within this game, there's no new characters whatsoever. You won't see anyone that you don't know or you've never heard of before. These are all classic Mortal Kombat characters, so, the likes of Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, Raiden, Shang Tsung, Jax, Kano, Quan Chi, Kitana, Melina, Jade, Kung Lao, Liu Kang. They're all, again, they're all in this game. And to me, it doesn't really bother me because these are the characters that I grew up with, and I know a lot about them, and that. So, and I'm happy to see them be brought back to the roots. That this, like I say, the series kind of just missed its way over the last decade or so. So, in terms of the gameplay, they've kind of brought, like I say, going back to its roots, they've brought it back to sort of Street Fighter 4 style, where it's like 3D character models fighting on a 2D plane, to call it like 2.5D if you will. So the characters, it's a very, very fluid combat, I've noticed. A lot more fluid than I think DC Universe, Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. I only played bits of that, so maybe I'm wrong in that, but I think this game still feels a lot more fluid. The characters themselves have a bit of weight to them, unlike Street Fighter 4. But it fits in with the style of Mortal Kombat, that they have a bit of weight to them, and that weight doesn't feel like out of place whatsoever, it just feels right. In terms of the moves that they actually pull off, you'll see a lot of returning special moves, a lot of moves that you're very familiar with. Those classic Mortal Kombat moves, such as Scorpion's Spear Throw, Sub-Zero's Ice Ball, Sonya Blade's Leg Grab, and her Kiss of Death sort of thing. Those are the kind of moves that you'll see again, and they look a lot better. I mean, we are on this generation of consoles now which are capable of really great stuff, so they do look really, really good, I must say. Along with returning moves, you're going to see returning stages that you're familiar with, such as, you know, the pit and, you know, the forest. I forgot what the full name of that is, but the forest with, like, you know, the trees that move and whatnot, like the faces in the trees and whatnot. So you've got returning stages, fatalities return in a really big way. These are some of, like, the goriest fatalities I've ever seen in a Mortal Kombat game. I mean, they really, really are gruesome. You know, and it's definitely not a game for kids to be playing. So if you've got kids and, you know, you keep them away from this game, that's all I'm saying. It's an 18 rated game here in the UK. It's mature over in the US and whatnot. The game's actually been banned in Australia, as I hope, well, as I presume you all know. So yeah, it's definitely not a game for kids. Now, a new addition to the actual game this time around is the implementation of the super meter. Now, what the super meter is you have 3 parts to the super meter. So you're able to build up this meter by, like, getting hit by your opponent and pulling off certain sort of combos and that onto your opponent. And when you reach when you fail the first part of the meter, you're able to pull off what's called an enhanced special move. So for example, if you're using Scorpion and you pull off his spear throw, he not only throws out 1 spear, he throws out 2, which deals additional damage. And that's true for, like, all the characters. If you use an enhanced special move, it's going to deal more damage. If you fill it up to the second part of the meter, that allows you to break out of a combo that's being pulled off on you. So if you're in the middle of being hit by a 5, 6, 7, 8 hit combo, you're able to use the second half of the meter to actually break out of that and deal damage to the opponent yourself. Now, what a lot of people are going to strive to do is fill that meter all the way up to the top, because then you can pull off what's called an X-ray move. Now, these are the most brutal, most devastating moves in the whole entire game, and the moves that deal the most damage. Now, what an X-ray move is it's basically a combo. It's an X-ray combo. So your character gives out a couple of hits onto your opponent, but the fact that it's called an X-ray is you get, like, an X-ray vision of their body and, like, all their internal organs and everything, the internal bones. So when the opponent's actually getting hit, you can see the bones crack and like the organs get squashed and all that, and it's just blood and guts and shit everywhere. It's absolutely crazy, but they look really, really good. So yeah, in terms of the combat, it's really very, very satisfying to actually pull off all these moves and link them up. But that's not the only thing in this game. Now, what this new game comes with is an absolutely obscene amount of content in terms of modes and everything. So not only do you have the story mode, which I talked about a little before, but you have your traditional ladder mode. Then you have a tag ladder. Now, this is another new addition to the series this time around, is the ability to have a tag mode. So what that means is think of Mortal Kombat versus Capcom, but you pick 2 fighters at the start, and you're able to pull off a combo and then tag your partner in for them to deal additional damage and carry on that combo, or you can just tag them in and out, and, you know, as you please. It's a really, really good addition to the gameplay, and I think it adds a lot to the series as a whole. We also get the challenge ladder, which consists of 300 different challenges, and you're able to earn coins that you can unlock. You're able to earn coins which you then can use to unlock all sorts of content in the crypt. The crypt returns. You have a fatality tutorial and just a normal tutorial. You have a practice mode. Then you have your online. I mean, you can't forget about the online. Online this time around, you have like your your rank matches, your player matches. You're able to join lobbies, which consists of just player matches, and a new addition is also the King of the Hill mode. Now, what King of the Hill mode is? Basically, a lot of this I'm going to compare it to Super Street Fighter 4 because it's sort of reminiscent of that in terms of modes and whatnot. So King of the Hill mode is just pretty much a lobby-based online mode. So you all gather in like sort of this theatre, and then you're watching the actual fight on the screen of the two people who are fighting at that time. But what's different about this is you using your either Xbox Live avatar or the avatar of one of the Mortal Kombat characters if you're using the PS3 version, is the fact that like you can make sort of little gestures to either show that you approve of what's happening on the screen or you don't like it, like you can boo them or cheer them. It's really good and really funny. The online modes as a whole are great. My only issue with it at the moment though is the netcode is really not up to standard. It's quite laggy, you get frequent disconnects and that. In fact, King of the Hill mode, for no matter how much fun it is, at times it can be really it can just be unplayable because there's so much lag. I mean, I've noticed in quite a few games I've been dropping combos and that just because the lag is so bad. And at times it can really be unbearable. But then at other times, it's super smooth and I've had no problems at all. NetherRealm Studios have come out now and said there is a patch in the works to tackle these issues, so fingers crossed for that. But I think as a whole, this new Mortal Kombat game is just absolutely fantastic. It's definitely lived up to my hype. Since it was first announced, I've been looking forward to this game, and it's just lived up to everything I was hoping. In terms of which version should you buy, then well, you have to look at the positives and the negatives in that. If you buy the PlayStation 3 version, you get an exclusive character, which is Kratos from the God of War series. 360 version doesn't get an exclusive character, but you are able to use your Xbox Live avatars in the King of the Hill mode and that kind of stuff. Because the PlayStation Network has been down for the past week or two, I've not really been able to check out the netcode on the PS3 to see if it's any better than 360. But I think, and also on the PlayStation 3, obviously if you're using a normal controller for either console, then the DualShock controller is, the far superior controller because of the superior D-pad basically, which is what you're going to be using for this game. You're going to be using the D-pad more than the analog sticks, so PlayStation 3 is definitely the way to go if you have the luxury of owning both consoles. If you own arcade sticks, then it's not really going to matter unless you really want that exclusive character in Kratos. But I think, in the short time I've had, I've pretty much covered everything. I've gone over the combat mechanics, gone over the story mode, additional modes that there is the online. And like I say, I think as an overall package, I think this is one of the best fighting games I've played this generation. Definitely better for me than Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I think just the sheer amount of content involved in this game is what all fighting games should have. Even Super Street Fighter 4 didn't have this much content in that game, yet that was an incredible fighting game. So I think moving forward, I think people should look at Mortal Kombat and see what they can take from this game and use it for their own. Yeah, I think the game's fantastic. I think if you're a fighting game fan, or if you used to be a Mortal Kombat fan but kind of fell out of love with the series again, then I really do believe that this game is going to be the one that is going to make you, rekindle that sort of passion for the fighting gaming. Again, I absolutely love it, and I know people who were sceptical about the game at first are really enjoying it too. So I give this game a straight up 9 out of 10. That's my official review for this game, a 9 out of 10. Can't argue with that. The only thing letting it down, like I say, is the server issues at the moment. You know, it's really dampening the online experience of the game. So that's why it just drops a point for me. But you know, if that online was flawless, it would have definitely got a 10 out of 10. So you know, maybe I'll do an update to this review once this patch has been released, but we'll see. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video review. As always, don't forget to thumbs up, comment and subscribe to my channel, and you know, keep watching my videos and just expect more Mortal Kombat videos to be released in the future. So I'm your boy Scat and I'm out. Peace.